right, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is TK Hlongwane, and this channel is all about beauty and wellness and also a bit of lifestyle. We are going more towards a lifestyle vibe lately, but I mean, we'll just, go in and out of it. We've also been doing a lot of vlogs lately. I'm sure you've caught up with a few of my latest vlogs, and I hope you've had fun. You've shown so much love to it, so I can see that you guys love that kind of vibe. Today it's a sit down. We are doing a book review. So I'm excited about that. So if you didn't know, I love books. This is not going to be my first book review. I have done another book review called What's Your Move, which is basically a finance book. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I will link the video below or even just above here so that you can just click and go and watch. So let me show you what I read since the beginning of the year and give you my thoughts about it. So these are the two books that I've read. It's this one from written by Oprah and Dr. Bruce D. Perry. Okay, the name of the book is What Happened to You. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the streets of social media. It made huge waves here in social media last year. And then the next one is The Game of Life and How to Play it. This is not that popular on social media, but it's an old book. So I'll take you through both of them so that you guys can get a little bit more. So let's go back to this one. Popular, like I said. It was written in 2020. It was released in 2021. My thoughts about this book is that it is a good book, but it's not an easy book to read. Okay, so what makes this book good? This book really basically talks about, so I'll read just here, conversations on trauma, resilience, and healing. All right. So Oprah and this guy who is a psychologist or something towards that vibe, they basically have a conversation in this book. So the parts, I'll show you guys an example. The parts written in blue are Oprah's words, and the parts written in black are the psychologist or the doctor's words. Okay, so it's a conversation. If you like Oprah like me, you can basically hear her tone and as she speaks in this book. What is the book about? It's about basically instead of asking people what is wrong with you, we should be asking what happened to you. Because all of us are the way we are today because of what happened to us, and society needs to stop asking us what is wrong with us. Because when you've gone through a traumatic experience or something that really changed your life and made you the person that you are today, the last thing you want is people to make you feel like there is something wrong with you, because actually it's more about what happened to you. So in this book, the guy, Dr. Perry, talks a lot about his clients, most of them being children, who may have gone through, traumatic experiences. Most of the popular ones is when kids go through different foster cares, or maybe they were raised in an abusive household. But it doesn't stop there. There's so many other things that, are traumatic that society may not be so aware of, that people go through, and therefore it changes the way they perceive the world, how they view the world, and all of us, or most of us, have gone through something when we're children that made us who we are today, whether it's made us to be extreme introverts, or has made you to have trust issues, or to be fearful of certain things. It can be being afraid of the dark, or being afraid of, when you hear a click of some sort, it makes you think of maybe the last time when, maybe you heard gunshots or whatever. So every time you hear something like that, you freeze or whatever. There's just so many things that happen to us as people that make us who we are today. And these experiences are not limited to when you were a child. It can happen as you have grown older, and therefore you are still getting traumatized by something that may have happened recently. So I want to see some of the words that I may have highlighted that captured me, and so that you guys get an idea of what the book is all about. It's just that I'm one of those people who really highlights pages everywhere I go. So I'll read this part for you. It was talking about love in this chapter. The chapter was called How We Were Loved, rather. So then he says, Dr. Perry said, that's a wonderful example of glue of love. It is in the small moments when we feel the other person fully present, fully engaged, connected, and accepting, that we make the most powerful, enduring bonds. Okay, so obviously this chapter is about love and how, when people are present with us, for instance, when you have parents who are fully with you, when they're with you, they're not on their phones, they're not busy giving somebody else attention, but they are fully with you. Those are the things that we remember. When you are with friends, when you are with your siblings or just strangers, that moment when someone is fully present is the stuff that really matters to us as people, not all these other fancy things that we think bond us together. What I found difficult about this book, well, it took me a while. I think I started reading it late last year and I only finished this week. And it is now April, so I finished it I think on Thursday, which was the 31st of March, because it feels like you're reading a psychology book. Okay, so there are a few concepts that it explains that are more deep and everything like that. However, but also what makes it difficult, it's not one of those books where you get excited to read the next chapter, because there is so much reflecting that needs to take place as you read this book. So you can't just be like, okay, move on. You read and I'll stop and find my highlighter to read some of these things, but I love what Oprah says at the end about this book and about trauma, is that if she didn't go through the things that she gone through, you probably all know Oprah's story, how she was raised by her grandmother, and also how she was raped by a family member, and also most people don't know that she actually was pregnant before but lost her child. I don't know if it was through the pregnancy or after birth, but yeah, she decided not to have children after that. But all those things have made her to be one of the most compassionate people that we know as a celebrity, one of the most giving people, where she went through all that poverty and hardships. We also know her as one of the best communicators, because she was raised in a home where children were to be seen and not heard, but she used that to make herself the powerhouse that she is today. So as much as trauma and hardships are not great, but what we do with what we've gone through is what makes us the best person that we can be. So I really, really love this book. I think I will read it again in a couple of years or months when I just want to go through that again. But also this book has also made me remember that it's more important for us to be compassionate towards the fellow person than to be judgmental and to ask what's wrong with them. Because even us, listening to me, there is something that someone looks at and says, but what's wrong with her, or what's wrong with him? Why do they react like that? Because you've gone through something that has made you the person you are. So yeah, let's show more compassion to each other. And the next book is this one called The Game of Life and How to Play It. It was written by Florence, Scovel, Shinn. This is an old book. It was written in the 1920s. Just a small story about this book. So I got this book via PDF, I think in 2013 or 14, by TJ Manyaka. I hope you'll be watching. I might just make you come and watch via email, and it was one of those books that I would share with other people. I know that was illegal. I didn't even know this book existed in hard copy or whatever you call this, or paper, whatever. And it was one of those books, whenever I'm going through a hard time, I would read it, because it just really uplifts my spirit and really re-energizes my faith. So this book is basically about faith, but it's written in an easy way, easy to relate way. It really challenges me about how my faith in God, my faith in how life will work out, that I can have whatever I want. It's about trusting God and believing that it can happen. So this is not a Christian book, okay? But the examples that are given here are the examples in the Bible. Without quoting the Bible, if you know a couple of scriptures in the Bible, most of these examples here would be like, oh, okay, that's from that book, oh, that's from that scripture, and everything like that. So I love that she did that. But I want to read for you some of the things about faith that this woman talks about. She says here, when men can wish without worrying, every desire will be instantly fulfilled. Okay, so the problem with us is the reason most of the time we don't get what we want when we want is because we ask for it, but at the same time we are worrying. So we don't have faith that what we've asked for will come to life, you know. So I really love reading that because of that. And then there is affirmation she likes saying. So she says, God is man's supply, and that man can release through his spoken word all that belongs to him by divine right. I'm going to read it again. God is man's supply, and that man can release through his spoken word all that belongs to him by divine right. So whatever we say basically can come to life because we've already been given that from God, you know. So there's just so many examples that I can give regarding this book, and besides going through it too long, there's an affirmation for work. It says, I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for a wonderful pay, you know. So there's like really affirmations for every kind of situation that you can be going through in your life, you know. It talks about, you know, listening to your intuition and, you know, planting for what you want. For instance, if really you are trusting to move into a new home, you know, one of the acts of faith you could do is to buy something towards that home. You know what I'm saying? Before you even move into that home. It's something simple. And I mean, I've been reading this book for years. Only got the hard copy earlier this year. I got it at Take A Lot. So you can order this at Take A Lot. And yeah, you'll get it. I don't know. I've never seen the exclusive books. But yeah, definitely Take A Lot has got it. But yeah, it really encourages me that as a person that whatever I believe, I can have it, you know. So over and over again, I'll go back to this book. When I feel like my faith is a little bit shaky, I go through it and then I'm just revived because I know that, you know, whatever I have, I believe I can have. And it's helped me through so many situations in life. I don't want to be a person who has no faith and doesn't believe that things will work out for them exactly as they should. You know, I should not worry about anything. And yeah, so I recommend that you get this book if you know you really want to activate your faith. Yeah, so those are the two books that I have read. My next book is this one called You Can Heal Your Life. I'm gonna start reading it. I've read it before many years ago and I just want to go through it again, and then I'll tell you about it. And then from here I want to go now to is it fiction, the non-real books, because I read a lot of self-help and I think I need a break from self-help. I want something light and exciting to read. So if you've got any book recommendations, let me know, and I would be really looking forward, and I'll come back here if I've read them and tell you how I feel about them. So I hope you've enjoyed my book review and it was not too long, and yeah, let's be that kind of community that reads. I know most of my viewers are Black and we have a reputation of not reading, which is not true. There's many of us who read, and I hope you're one of them. Until next time, please do subscribe if you have not, and please leave a comment if you are a fellow reader, and share my content if you like other people to know what's up here in this channel by TK Hlongwane. Until next time, goodbye, babe.